And good afternoon, happy Sunday to all of my friends here in Panama and those of you around the world. We are super excited to be here with you today. And guys, we have some awesome guests today. We have coming up right away, we have Rosalind Baitel with Promises Panama. Now, this is an incredible charity organization that works with so many other charity organizations throughout the country. So she's going to be able to tell us all about that and her experience. She's been living here in Panama for 35 years. So we're very excited to be talking with her today. And then right after that, we are going to be talking with one of my favorite attorneys in the Do Panama Relocation Program. Super excited to be talking with Yolany. We're going to be discussing different types of visas and what visa might be best for you, whether you're moving here as a tech worker or a digital nomad and you are just looking for a new lifestyle now that you are not required to be in the office wherever you do live, whether it's in the United States, Canada, or Europe. So this is a great opportunity. You know, we see a lot of people that are in the tech industry, you know, looking at Panama and also moving here. Because why not have beautiful beaches and mountains in your backyard? So when you're not working, you can really experience those great elements in life. And then right after Yolany, we are going to be talking with Mike Latovich with Inside Panama Real Estate. You know, we're going to be talking about that big question. When I move to Panama, should I rent or should I buy? And why? Because, you know, for each person, everybody has a unique situation. And depending on your reasons for moving and how quickly you want to get either purchase a place or rent a place, you know, depending on which visas you are, you know, getting involved with. You know, you have that qualified investor program visa that, you know, once you purchase a home or a property over $300,000, you get automatic permanent residency. And then, of course, we have retiree visas that give you all kinds of great discounts. And Yolany's going to break all that down for us. And then, again, Mike is going to be talking to us about how you can really have a good experience here in Panama, both renting and buying, and what's going to be best for you, what you should look at on a personal level before doing so. My name is Austin Hess. I love being here with you every Sunday here at 3 o'clock. Now, let me know that you're there. Hit that like button. Show a little love. Maybe you want to hit the laughing button, whatever floats your boat. Just show me that you're there. And if you're feeling extra spunky today, go ahead, share this video, leave a comment, do both. We really appreciate you being here with us. And guys, I want to thank Inside Panama for sponsoring this video. If you're looking into Panama, check out their free ebook. To get that free ebook, it's super easy. All you have to do is email them at free ebook at ipreinfo.com. Sorry, messed all that up. It's in the text. So if you're looking for that free ebook, again, email them free ebook at info@iprE.com. Again, we also have a new sponsor on the show today, The Perfect Pair. Awesome, amazing coffee with Cuatro Caminos and mahogany chocolate. So if you like coffee and chocolate, you're going to want to check out these guys. Again, we will be having a lot of good discussions with them here in the near future on other shows. I'm going to play a quick video, and then we're going to jump into this first interview with Rosalind Baitel with Promises Panama. Remember, guys, if you are interested in Panama, if you want any information about moving to Panama or getting involved with the Do Panama Relocation Program, just email me personally, Austin at dopanama.com. I love helping people out, whether it's finding great restaurants and destinations and hotels through our magazine, or, you know, people like yourself that are looking to move to this beautiful country and they want to be taken care of in a special way and no funny business. You know, I like to allow people the opportunity to find the best attorneys, to find the best real estate brokers, insurance folks, everybody that can make your experience moving to Panama just that much more enjoyable, because it really should be a very enjoyable experience. Again, guys, we're going to watch this quick intro, and then we're going to jump into this first interview. See you guys in just a second. All right, guys, we're here with Rosalind Baitel from Promises Panama. Rosalind, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you today.
Thanks, Austin. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your background. And I know you've been living in Panama for 35 years. Tell us about where you're from and what brought you to Panama.
Okay, great. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm a biology major of all things. So I came to Panama 35 years ago, hired by the Department of Defense schools to teach high school science in the schools that service the Canal Zone and the military bases. So I moved here single on my 25th birthday, so you can do the math, and I've been here ever since. I had a 14-year career teaching here in the DoD schools. And when that closed, I didn't really want to be a teacher anymore. Plus, I didn't really pick up Spanish too quickly back then. So by then I was married. I married a Panamanian. We have 2 kids at this point. So I wasn't going to travel with the DoD schools. So I wasn't going to practice biology here either because my Spanish wasn't good. So the only other thing I know how to do was shop. And I'm a thrift store resale junkie. So I said to my husband at the time, I said, you know, by then we had 2 kids. I said, nobody is doing resale in Panama. One of my favorite things back in the States to do is to go to all the Goodwill, Salvation Army, Junior League, Bridge House, all those resale stores, charity shops. Nobody was doing that. My husband said, well, what's that? I said, don't worry, I'm going to open one. You'll figure it out. So that's how Promises came about. I opened Promises in the year 2000 in the same place, that strip mall, Gulf Plaza, as that building was going up. And I've been there ever since. And it has evolved into the charity fundraising arm for a lot of nonprofits in Panama to be able to send me high value items for us to sell those items, and the charity that brings it to us gets the money. So when I started in the year 2000, I started with 5 charities, Casa Esperanza, Casita de Mausi, and a few others. Now, before COVID, we were working with over 60 charitable groups, cancer groups, animal groups, orphanages, pet, spay and neuter groups, gang rehabilitation groups, you name it. So I had 60 charities all wanting to affiliate with Promises. So that's where we were when COVID happened. Am I rambling, or do you want to ask me something?
No, I love it. I love it. And, you know, it's just so unique because, you know, one charity organization like Promises Panama is affiliated with so many others. And, you know, it's so nice to see connecting those dots.
Well, so basically what I offer is a platform for the charities to be able to sell things that they receive that are donated by their benefactors that the charity itself can't use. For example, if a woman has a really nice name brand handbag, but she wants to help that charity, the charity can't use the handbag. But my buyers at Promises will buy it. They love the story. And then that money will go to the charity. So there's a whole conversion there where basically what we're doing, we're a boutique, open to the public, and we're on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, Promises Panama. But we are able to sell these nice things, and it's a way for the benefactors to donate, but instead of taking out their checkbook, they donate high value items.
I love it.
It's
I love
worked,
it. That's incredible. It's very intelligent.
It's worked really well. Well, if you know the charity business model from the States, I basically just cut out we're a consignment business model, but the consignor doesn't get the money. That money goes directly to the charity that they were supporting anyway. Having said that, it all worked great before COVID. And even though the economy was in a little bit of a slump, in the last year, our sales were quite low. But COVID immediately put a damper on that, right? On a damper on everything. So what we're working toward now is figuring out how to stay relevant and live, how to enter back into the charity helping business, but shifting our model a little bit, because right now, even if we were to reopen, and if you see the pictures on Instagram and Facebook of luxury items, number one, the economy isn't great. Number two, a lot of our buyers don't have the expendable money that they did to buy luxury items. And number three, there aren't the numerous events that people go to wear these items. My store is full of beautiful gowns and bags and shoes and accessories. So now we have to look at the current reality of what's going on in Panama and how can we reinvent this charity business model, helping our charity affiliates going forward. So I've spent a couple of weeks with people who are passionate about our mission and had some focus groups and Zoom calls. And so we're putting together right now a series of direct charity donation drives, because the other reality is we still have COVID among us. People are still freaked out about going out. Nobody wants to go into a store. You don't know if somebody has COVID. You know, the people who work for us and work with us, they don't want to come in because who knows where you've been. So what can we do? So Promises, I think you've been to my store. It's actually a storefront in a strip mall.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky that we kind of have this drive-by location open to the street with parking right out in front. So we started 2 weeks ago doing direct donation drives. So we are collecting items that our charity affiliates need today. Nobody needs a ball gown today, but they need medicine, supplies, canned foods, toys, children's things. They need all sorts of direct items that can be donated today and used today. So over COVID, I worked really hard with some other charitable groups, and we worked with MINSA to establish the guidelines of how to donate items in a safe way. So those are all on the flyer that you're going to be sending out to everybody as well. They're on our Promises Panama Facebook page and on our Instagram page. Very easy benchmarks. We ask people not to bring things in bags because bags need to be dumped out and resorted, boxes labeled. So the first 2 weeks we did direct donations, and we benefited Malambo, which is an orphanage, and Ciudad del Niño. And people came by, they drove by, and they brought toys labeled and boxed. They brought diapers, they brought canned food for canned milk. This coming week, we have 2 new people who have come up and said, we want to be your charity of choice this week. So we're doing the 3-day donation drives, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 to 2. And our 2 charities are the Kiwanis Club, Jugueton, which basically means they're collecting toys for children for Christmas. We're a drop-off point for them. And the other charity is Local PTY Kids, which is the charity of the group that made the Mola masks. Victor Peretz is his name. Yeah. And his charity is also one of our partners this week. We're collecting donated items for him. Those are going to be educational supplies and things for the kids that he helps in Gunayala. So those are our 2 charity affiliates. So we're asking all of our benefactors to drive by and drop those things off between 11 and 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week.
I love it. I love it. And it's so, it's important. Obviously we all go through our trials and tribulations, especially during these times of uncertainty, with COVID. And what's happening next and how can we continue to help others, especially with what you've done. And I like how you pivoted. Like you had a business model where all these charities could sell their expensive gowns and handbags and things of the such, but you took notice and said, hey, that's not going to work right now. So how can I keep the giving happening during these times, especially during these times when we know that a lot of people need that help out there? So obviously people can come to these drives. Again, after the show, I'm going to post and all of the different platforms that we're running live on right now. I'm going to go and I'm going to post information for Rosalind. Also, as she mentioned, you guys can go to Promises Panama on Instagram or Facebook. But besides that, Rosalind, how can people get involved maybe on a bigger level? Maybe someone wants to be really involved in some type of charity work, whether it's with Promises or maybe something. Is there a place to look at different charities, maybe that have to deal with women or children?
Absolutely. Okay, so funny you ask, because a bunch of people have reached out to me during COVID and asked that same question. There's actually one very good portal here, and it's called Ponte en Algo, PONTEENALGO.com or .org, I forget. But that is the one portal that lists all the charities, and you can type in your interest if you're interested in children, pets, elderly, homeless, cancer, and you can type in and they will direct you. It even allows you to type in what language you speak and if that's going to be an inhibitor. Ponte en Algo is really where we send a lot of people who want to donate time. There are other civic clubs also. Panama has all the civic clubs, like I mentioned, Kiwanis. We happen to be supporters of the Rotary Club in Cologne. So those civic clubs are very popular as well. Again, most churches or places of worship now, because you can't have the large services, they're really being creative about how they help out in their neighborhoods. So that's a good place to start. And then the other thing I tell people is look inward and what is your passion? Because, well, in my case, as you know, I'm a cancer survivor. So a lot of my charities that I support have to do with cancer. So looking inward and seeing what has affected you or what do you feel you want to give back. I know you asked a question about possibly starting your own charity.
Correct.
It's extremely difficult in Panama. And so what I try and steer people toward is whatever your passion is, there's probably already a group doing some charitable work related to your passion. So I always try and say it's best moving forward that you join forces with those groups rather than reinvent the wheel. Probably takes about 3 or 4 years to start a nonprofit here, and it's expensive and it involves lawyers and things. So yeah, I would say Ponte en Algo or those other things that I mentioned would be good places to start. Awesome.
Well, and that's incredible. And I love, again, that you were able to adjust with how, your original business model is. Now, just to remind people, if someone would like to donate, what kind of materials or food items are you looking for next week's drive?
Okay, basically because Victor is collecting things like books, school supplies. He's calling them like didactic toys, not really fun educational, fun types of things for children. And then for the Kiwanis drive, it's much more about Christmas for children and toys and that. But having said that, a few people have reached out to me and said, what about, could we still donate powdered milk to Malambo, or could we still donate diapers to whatever? Yes, we will be accepting everything. And my affiliate helping me with this, Catherine, is on the board of Ciudad de Niños. So anything that, if people still want to bring children's things or dried or canned foods or that type of thing, they will get given away directly. They don't even come into the store. They drop them off on the stoop. And then we take the picture. We thank them. They go straight to Catherine's car. And she's been going straight out to Ciudad de Niño and donating these things directly.
I love it. Well, and
so I was going to mention going forward, because it's great to be able to help, but obviously it's not a business. So going forward, what we're considering in Promises to get the charities more money. We're considering broadening our base of what we can sell. So we're looking at off the radar things like art, housewares, collectibles, gift items, things that people have received and have shoved in a closet and they're not really using. So we're open to selling a much more broad base of merchandise if we think it will work for the charities. So we're going to start doing those experiments probably in January.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Now, of course, we've covered all the charity stuff today. Now, if anyone, again, has any questions for Rosalind, please reach out through Promises Panama on Instagram or Facebook, whether it's you want to donate or you want to get more involved. She's a world of help and an amazing human being. We thank you so much for all the great things you do here in Panama. Now, before I let you go today, I want to ask a little bit about some of the things that you are so deeply in love with and attracted to Panama. When you first came to Panama, obviously 35 years, you've been here a long time. You've seen a lot of development. Tell me, what is some of the favorite things about Panama?
Correct.
Are you there?
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
well, I'll show you. Here's where I am now. When I moved to Panama, one of the first trips, because my first job was at Cristobal High School, which is on the Caribbean coast. So my first weekend trip was to Isla Grande. So coincidentally, right now, I am pretty close to where where it all began, on the Caribbean. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things. We're right here now in the area of Puerto Lindo. And if you follow us on Facebook, I've been doing charity donation drives with the Rotary Club of Colón that my husband's a member of. So one of my favorite things is to come to the beach on the Caribbean coast. It's under 2 hours drive from Panama City, and it's pretty much where I lived during COVID.
Well, and it's beautiful. I briefly saw it. You know, you're right there on the ocean, and man, it's a special place. It's a special place. And you and your husband, you have a marina out there, yeah?
Right. So we have the Linton Bay Marina, which is in Puerto Lindo, and it's been really interesting because who knew, but a boat is where you want to be during a pandemic. The boaters all self-isolate and disinfect and quarantine, and they're all very careful. So they all want to be in their boat, which is their home, but they want to be socially distant. So a marina is perfect for that. So yeah, who knew? Awesome.
Well, again, I thank you so much for coming on. To all our viewers out there, if you have more questions about whether you're in Panama and you're looking to help out here in the community, reach out to Rosalind through Promises Panama on either Facebook or Instagram. And if you're moving to Panama, you're looking at Panama, you know, the reason that we like having people like Rosalind on the show is just to give you an idea of what types of people live in our community. We have such a beautiful and diverse community of Northern Americans, Europeans. You know, Panama is a big melting pot of just awesome people that said, hey, where I live just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And they come down to Panama, and we just have such great community members throughout the whole country, both on a local Panamanian level and the expat level. So again, remember, if you have any information or you are interested in moving to Panama, we do the Do Panama Relocation Program. We're actually going to have Yolany coming up next, and she's going to talk to us about some of the new visa programs and some of the other ones that are a little bit older that have been around for some time, but they're still great and amazing visa programs. So we're going to have her on in just a minute. But guys, remember, if you're looking to donate, if you're looking to help make someone's Christmas special, please get involved with these toy drives and these food drives. We will be posting links and flyers after the show on all of the channels that we're running live on right now. So make sure to check back and look at those a little bit later on. Again, Rosalind, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon.
You owe me a visit, you promised.
I know, I can't wait. I need to get out there.
Down.
I will. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.
All right, guys, we are excited to be here with our second guest today, Yolany Alvarado, one of my favorite attorneys in the Do Panama Relocation Program. She is just a world of information, and we're excited to have her here today because we want to talk about the different visa programs. So, Yolany, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today.
Austin, thank you very much for having me here today with your lovely guests around the world listening on how to do Panama and to do it right.
I like that. I like that because that's what we want to do. We're all about helping people, and I've been helping people ever since I've been here. Whether it was just making recommendations and or through our publications. My company puts out a lot of publications that we just love helping people connect. Whether it's a Panamanian or an expat living here in Panama, or someone looking at Panama, or even those who are traveling here just for a vacation. And, as we know, a lot of people are looking at Panama these days, and we have a lot of new visas. So can you go over the most popular visas that we see for both people looking to move here and work, and then those that are here to retire?
Fantastic. Well, Austin, one of our top programs, to be honest, it has been the retiree program. It has been an award winning program for several years now because it offers people that want to retire and live in Panama a very nice and easy to get permanent residency with additional perks. For example, discounts on entertainment, discounts on transportations, including air tickets, discounts on restaurants and amusements. So this has been an easy to get program where you can file the application into the government, and as long as you state and prove that you are a retired person, then the government immediately provides you with this permanent residency program. You do need to indicate the government that you have an income from your retirement of at least $750 per month or $1,000 if it's jointly. So that's one of the programs that's been a winning award program, and I know that many of our guests today have read about it worldwide. There's another program, however, which is called the Friendly Nations Program. The Friendly Nations Program has been created in order to provide citizens from 48 special countries to come live and invest in Panama with very few requirements. And it's also kind of like a fast track program where you will be able to demonstrate with a minimum investment that you are willing to establish and get a permanent residency in Panama. For the Friendly Nations program, we have 48 countries, as I just told you, and I easily can share with you the list of those 48 countries. Just to give you an idea, those countries, among those countries, it's the United States, Canada, Mexico, Argentina, the United Kingdom, Belgium, Germany, South Africa, and 48 more nations. And the only thing that you need to do is one, to have a passport from one of these countries. Second of all, to open a bank account in Panama, which for that we will help you. You don't need to come to Panama to open the bank account. With the COVID situation, we have made agreements with our banks in order to be flexible with our clients and allow them to open the bank account abroad through a due diligence process done online. And the third requirement to file for a Friendly Nations program is to have an investment in the country. The investment can be as simple as having as a corporation in Panama, and corporations in Panama are very accessible. They are very cheap. They are not as expensive as in other jurisdictions, and they can be as low as $3,000. So those for the Friendly Nations program, those are the requirements. Now, there a couple of weeks ago, the government issued a new program, which is the Qualified Investors Program, which has different requirements and a different procedure. It has good things and it has things that, in our opinion, are not competitive when you compare that program to the Friendly Nations program.
Okay, so I guess if someone is super interested in moving to Panama, relocating here, again, we had Jose Rojas, Minister of Foreign Investments, on last week, and he was telling us, it is a very easy process. All of these visas are quite easy to do. However, it is best to go with a professional. Yolany and myself, we are here to help. We really enjoy helping people connect the dots and making the transition just as simple as possible. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and trust me, you want to be on the good side. Make things easy. Make this experience moving to Panama just an enjoyable one, because when you enjoy this experience, it just makes it a world of difference. Remember, if you're interested in talking to Yolany or myself, go ahead and email info@dopanama.com. And our team is looking forward to helping you with any questions and the whole process, A to Z, of your transition to Panama. Now, Yolany, I really, really appreciate all that information. I know that, it sounds so easy, but again, it's great to have a professional like yourself on the team to make this transaction for those people just that much more enjoyable. I thank you for coming on the show. I know you have a beautiful Sunday planned ahead of you. It was raining earlier, as you can see. This is an actual background. The sun is trying to peek through those clouds back there, but the rain has stopped. Looks like it's going to be a nice little afternoon. Might have to head out to the causeway, enjoy some of that fresh ocean air. I thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you go today?
Well, Austin, again, thank you very much to you, and thank you very much for all of the people that are listening to us. The process, I just want to end up by saying that the process of becoming a permanent resident in Panama, it's an easy one, and it goes very smoothly when you work with someone that does know how to do it, how to do Panama and do it right. So I invite every one of you to join us. Ask us a question, anything, or just say hello, or ask any question that you might have considering moving to Panama or just visiting to Panama in order to learn a little bit about the country.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much again. Now, before we jump into our last interview today, which is one of our sponsors, Michael Vitovich with Inside Panama, I want to say a big thank you again to The Perfect Pair for this great cup of coffee. I think next week they're going to be sending out some chocolates, so I'm excited about that. If you haven't had any of their coffee or chocolates, you're going to want to check them out. Some of the best in Panama, delicious. And we actually have a quick commercial that we are going to watch about their beautiful chocolates before we talk to Michael Vitovich, Inside Panama Real Estate. He's going to be talking to us about the rent or buy question. That's a big question for people that come into Panama. Should I rent? Should I buy? And why? So, again, Yolany, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you again really soon, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, now I really want some chocolate. All right, guys, we are here with, of course, the one and only Mr. Michael Vitovich, our sponsor today, Inside Panama Real Estate. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today, Mike?
Very well, Oscar. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm getting a little jealous. I have this beautiful concrete jungle behind me, but I see the Amazing plants. Where are you at today?
I'm sitting in my bohio in the backyard.
It looks pretty cold, man. You might need to get a blanket, huh?
I don't think so.
It's kind of funny, being from Portland, Oregon, when this time of the year comes and I talking to family and friends back home and, it's starting to turn into fall and the winter's sneaking up on them. This is when everyone starts looking a little bit more seriously at Panama, especially, all these folks in the tech industry that, I know we're going to talk about a little bit later are been reaching out through you and through the Do Panama Relocation Program, which is awesome. But, one thing I want to talk about, because obviously we've had a lot of focus over the past years, especially with Inside Panama Real Estate, with retirees. But now with COVID and the fact that people working for big tech companies like Microsoft and Google and all these other tech companies that might be even smaller, you're seeing a lot of them not requiring their staff to go to the office anymore. So what can we tell these people, that are looking at Panama? Should they come into Panama and buy right away? If so, why? And or is it better for people to come in and rent when they first get here, and why? What do you think? Obviously everyone has a unique experience, and depending on what's right for them. But maybe you can break it down for us and let the viewers know what your opinions on that are.
Well, it's a bit complex. It's a very common question. I get it nearly every day. The obvious thing for people that have never been to Panama would be to most definitely rent. A lot of people come here, including myself. I wanted to be at the beach. I came to the beach. I played my first round of golf, and I thought, whoa, I was not prepared for this heat. I just wasn't. I grew up in, I just come from San Diego for 25 years, and that's a different kind of heat. It's more dry. So often people come here and they tell me, Mike, I wasn't prepared for that. So obviously it would make sense to rent to see if maybe you get used to it. My wife's from Southern California. She loves it. I think that there are other cooler options. El Valle is a cool option. Boquete is a nice cool option. I would recommend definitely, for sure, check out a few places before you make a decision on anywhere to live, and rent, for sure. If you've been here once, twice, many people that I deal with have been here multiple times. They've already gone through that process. So they've already determined, we know we want Coronado, or we know we want Boquete, or we know we want Pedicey, wherever it is. For them, I would encourage, well, if you're very serious, this is absolutely a buyer's market. What we're seeing right now, especially here at the beach, we have lots and lots of condos for sale. Unfortunately, normally those condos would be booked right now. Not only are they empty, the high season when they would be typically showing up mid-December, they're not booked. People from the U.S. or Canada are very concerned about the COVID situation and maybe getting stuck again or getting locked down. It's all very uncertain. So as a result, the property owners aren't having income. So they're having to go to their HIP every month to cover the maintenance fees, the management fees, the country club fees, and they could be spending $600, $700, $800 a month on an empty unit. So obviously, there's only so much tolerance for that, especially if there's no clear light at the end of the tunnel. And several of them are calling me saying, Mike, how low do I have to go to get rid of this unit? I don't want to do this. So prices are we're now seeing prices coming down. So if you've already been here, you've already made up your mind, now is a very good time to make some aggressive offers and get a good buy. Ideally, if you plan on living here. Otherwise, you'd just be putting yourself in the same boat as the person you're buying from. You're going to be relying on renters to cover your monthly expenses, and that may or may not work out any better than it did for the last guy. So I know that's not a clear, definitive answer, but it's like a box of chocolates. Everybody comes here with a completely different scenario. Many of the people we deal with, as you know, have been here multiple times. And I just sold a home to a couple that I had dinner with last night, they'd never been here before, and they're going on the tour, the Retire in Panama tour, in January. So they've already purchased. They haven't even done the tour yet, but they knew they saw a unit. They were looking online. They saw a unit that had dropped in price. They already liked the unit. They were hoping to buy it in January. And when they saw that thing drop, they contacted me and said, pull the trigger for us. Sight unseen.
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen. Unbelievable.
That's the thing. You have so many unique. Everyone's unique, and we have that qualified investor program that it was just amended, where before it was a $500,000 investment. Now it's dropped down to $300,000. So I mean that's it's so much more of a realm, especially the price of listings on the market right now, and that's just probably right there in the middle. Yes, of course you can go over 500,000, but at least it gives that capability for the people that are maybe looking for a $325,000 home or condo to also take advantage of that opportunity. Having Jose Rojas last week talk to us and say, hey, if you have that promissory to purchase or you already purchased, you can do the whole process with your attorney online. Like Yolany was just talking to us about, the banks, and the network have also agreed to do a lot of this online. So, if you are moving from the United States and you are ready just to come in and make it happen, you've already made the decision, it's solid in your mind, as Mike said, maybe making that purchase and getting that bank account and that permanent residency done. So when you land 30, 45 days later in Panama, you're all set, man. It's, you go take the photo, you got your ID card, and you are now a resident of Panama. So
one of the important things that Yolany said is, because right now you could literally come here and buy condominiums well under 300,000. So you wouldn't qualify for that program. However, as she said, the Friendly Nation visa solves that very, very easily.
Yeah.
So you could go ahead and get your Friendly Nation visa and get your cedula and your bank account, everything that you need, and not be forced to reach to 300,000. So just something to consider. If you're buying 300 or above anyway, great. If you feel like, well, I don't want to spend that much money, it's not. You do have another option, which is a darn good one.
Yeah, of course. Now, I know you don't have a magic ball. We all wish we did, especially this year. It's like so many ups and downs. We're seeing these spikes in the U.S. We're hearing, we're hearing about vaccines coming out. We're hearing all kinds of things. We're seeing the airlines over in Australia. They're going to require their passengers to be vaccinated when traveling in or out of the country. Obviously, again, you don't have a crystal ball, but where do you see 2021 for Panama in the real estate market? What are your predictions?
Well, I mean, it really rests on COVID, period. So yeah. If this COVID fear subsides, if COVID subsides, if the vaccine is well embraced and shows positive results, I think that we'll continue on an uphill trend. We started off just gangbusters. Many people showing huge interest in leaving not only the United States or Canada, but all throughout Europe. Many people are concerned. And of course, Panama has such an easy residency option that it's one of the favorite places to come. However, if COVID continues to rear its ugly head, that could certainly be a hurdle. If that is managed, I think we're going to just have several banner years. People are nervous. They're nervous with the paper assets. They're nervous with the stock market, despite the fact it's rallying. Most people feel that's.
Well, and now we have, back in the day, it was just, 80% of the expats moving here were on the way to retirement or retired.
Right.
So, even though, we have this disruptive COVID process, one of the things I personally know is, taking for granted, spending that extra time outside, going to the ocean with my son, taking the family here. And it's just so great, I think that you're going to see a lot of people up north in Canada, US, or even in Europe that say, hey, quality of life is, it's been plastered on people's minds now. It's like, hey, I do want to be able to jump on a ferry from Panama City and an hour and a half later be on some of the most beautiful islands in the world, you know, or
Exactly.
Boquete and drinking fresh roasted coffee and the rainbows. I mean, you and I both know, you know, we've traveled around this country because it is so small and it is, you know, it's capable of moving around easily, is that we just have so much of a blessing here. And I feel that, you know, obviously we, like I said, we have those retirees, but now we have this tech market of people that say, hey, I don't have to live in San Francisco anymore. I make this amount of money and it doesn't go very far here, but down in Panama, it's going to go much further. I mean, you could own in the city, you could have a beach house over in Coronado, Buenaventura, you know, have a nice car, a whole different lifestyle. And the great thing is, you know, you're hearing us, we're talking in English. You know, Mike and I were probably the most guilty guys here. We don't speak a lot. And we've been here almost, you know, you're going on 13, 14 years. I'm going on 9. And that's one of the great elements about Panama is that you don't have to speak Spanish to live in this foreign country like maybe you would in other foreign countries that you move to. So there's a lot of, you know, Panama has a lot of positive outlooks. Besides just the beautiful weather, the beautiful atmosphere that we have here, but also, you know, the U.S. dollar, the school systems. We have a ton of private schools that are just amazing. And then we have the U.S. dollar and, you know, the great medical. You know, unfortunately, I got myself injured, you know, jumping on some coral, cutting my leg, and you have to get those procedures done. I've been overly impressed on, first off, the cost. You know, to go into the hospital, you know, you're already racking up $1,000 in the U.S. Where here, you know, you get a shot, you get this, and they hand you a bill for $78. You're like, is that my copay? No, that's just the cost. So it's incredible that how low the costs are here for.
It really is. You know, I had a skin tag on my eyelid that I've had for years, and I always wanted to get it removed. And frankly, I was afraid of anybody putting a needle anywhere near my eyeball. So I really just kept ignoring it. And I went with my wife when she went to have an eye exam, and she asked the doctor, would you look at his skin tag? And the doctor said, well, yeah, that's no big deal. And I was like, really? Could I make an appointment to take care of that? He's like, Michael, you'll be out of here in 5 minutes and it will be done. And I, like, at first I thought he was kidding. I was in, out, $35, see you later. Like, obviously I didn't bother calling the insurance company. It wasn't worth filling out the paperwork. It wasn't worth $35 for something that had been bugging me for years.
Of course.
Just one of those little things, you know, and you know, one of the things that you mentioned that's really made me think a lot since COVID is the things that we do take for granted. COVID really has woken up my eyes to the things that we take for granted. I mean, I'm just not used to walking around the grocery store with a mask on, or just having to stand 6 feet away when I'm waiting in line for virtually anything. Or it's just, I sure look forward to getting back to the real, you know, the old world, because we sure took.
If we are in that situation, we don't know how long it's going to last, and just, you know, we don't have the crystal ball. I have to say, you know, it was raining heavily. You know, I know we talked this morning. I said, it would be funny. There was a big rainstorm. Well, it came through, and it came through heavy. It watered the entire country, which is beautiful. It keeps this place super green and lush with our jungle here. But now it's beautiful again, you know, and that's one thing too, is that we can really have the opportunity to enjoy the good old.
It's really paradise right here. The sky is blue, the sun is out. It's been that way all day. I've got the pool right behind me, the golf course over here. Life is good if you're looking for lifestyle at a cheaper cost, like you said, with the U.S. dollar. This is the place. It's easy to come. It's easy to gain residency. It's easy to go back and visit. You know, it's really a paradise.
Awesome, Mike. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a happy Sunday. Remember, guys, get the free ebook from Inside Panama Real Estate. Super easy. Just email them at freeebook@ipreinfo.com. I know I completely messed that up in the beginning of the show, but hey, we all stumble on our toes sometimes. And of course, if you want to get in the Do Panama Relocation Program, you know, I just like to help people A to Z, pick you up at the airport, walk you through the whole process, just making sure you connect with all the right people like you saw on the show today. So if you want to join that program, it's very, very, very inexpensive. You know, we kind of just do it because we really like helping people, and yeah, it's fun. You know, I want people to come down and have a great experience and enjoy this beautiful country we now call home. So remember, guys, get that free ebook, give us an email, and hope you guys all have a beautiful Sunday. We'll see you again here next Sunday, again, 3 p.m., and we'll be talking more to awesome members of our community. Again, the whole idea of this show is that you out there in the United States, in Canada, and Europe, see other expats doing the same thing that you might be looking into doing, as it's easy, you know? Just make that fun. Get on down here. Let's have a good time.
Amen. Amen.
Thanks so much, Michael. I hope you have a beautiful day, my brother, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Yes, you will. I'll see you this week in the city.
Awesome, my friend. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.